Well, one of the people who's been watching not just tonight's debate, but really the wider debate on this very closely is Alan Craigie, a University of British Columbia political science professor. First of all, your impressions of what you saw tonight, British time, the debate?
Well, I thought we saw a group of people from both sides very passionate about Britain, very passionate about the future of Britain, but with two very different views of what the future of that passion should be, whether or not that Britain can reach its full potential inside the European Union, or whether it had to exit the European Union in order for it to actually be, be great again, as many Leave campaigners would indicate.
I don't know at this point how many people will have watched it on TV, but everyone will hear quotes, in the morning news and throughout the day. Was there a turning point? Was there any sort of knockout punch here that you think might carry some weight ahead of this referendum?
I don't think it was a knockout punch, but I think Mayor Khan, the mayor of London, I think he did an excellent job of showing the passion that you can have to be both very pro-British and pro-European Union at the same time. I think the Leave campaign did a very good job of demonstrating, just by their body language and their tone of voice, that you don't have to be British or European, that you can be British and European at the same time, and that being proudly European doesn't take away from the fact that you can be a very strong patriot for your country.
You noted there was a reference, perhaps a careful coded reference in this debate to Turkey. Explain that.
I couldn't help but notice that at the 13-minute mark, or at least on what I was watching indicated there's a 13-minute mark, that Turkey came up. And Turkey, as you're aware, is not a member of the European Union, and anybody who's been paying attention to the European Union and debates on expansion for the last little while knows with some certainty that Turkey's not going to be a member of the European Union. You can't be an on-again, off-again democracy and be a member of the European Union. But it was brought up with the idea that the central government, the Cameron Conservatives, weren't doing enough to ensure that Turkey's not going to become a member of the European Union. And that's stuck in my mind because if you look at some of the negative campaigning that the Leave side has done, the subtle appeals to xenophobia, the subtle appeals to oftentimes Islamophobia with regards to the Syrians, the way that immigration has taken over this debate, that struck me as an appeal there to individuals to say, hey, listen, if we don't get control of our own border, which we saw that quite a bit mentioned in the debate, that all these Turks are now going to come and and take over our country.
So the shadow of Turkey looming over this. What about the shadow of the murder of Joe Cox?
That was a tragic event. I think shocked not just the political class in Britain, but many of the majority of the population itself. That was the first political assassination I think we've seen in the United Kingdom of a member of Parliament since the Troubles, as they refer to the Troubles with the IRA, in 1990, I believe it was. And I think that showed people, and particularly people who are moderate Leave supporters, that perhaps they have jumped into bed with some people that are perhaps not the most savory of characters. Now, if you think about, UKIP is part of that far-right movement in the United Kingdom. Britain First, an extremist organization. Remember the assassin supposedly yelled out Britain First. We saw what he said when asked, "What's your name?" I believe the quote was, Britain First, keep out immigrants, something like that, right? Some very pro, old stock Britain. So I think there's that ugliness that scared people. That it really brought to life that actions have consequences, words have consequences, and unfortunately, this assassination was very much a foreseeable consequence of some of the ugly campaigning that we've seen from the Leave side.
Just before you go, 2 days before the referendum, what's your best guess?
I knew you were going to ask me that question, and the latest poll today was a 50-50 split. So the coin in your pocket will probably give you the same kind of answer I can. Although evidence suggests from other referendum that people behave a little bit more conservatively, so more in favor of the status quo on election day. So it's all going to come down to the undecideds, how they lean, and whether or not people will chicken out at the ballot box.
And you'll be here with us for our live coverage on Thursday night. We are too. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Ian.